You take some guy, you whisk in some aspiration, and what do you get? Episode 2 of the Fresh Baked Niche podcast, where the best half-baked conversations happen. Hi, I'm your chef Patrick, and today, I'm going to talk about myself. Specifically, I'd like to talk about who I am, what is this podcast supposed to be, and where is it going? So to kick things off, who am I? Well, as I said, my name is Patrick. I'm just some dude. I exist. And one day I just kind of woke up and decided, you know what? I want to get back into content creation, but I don't want to do what I used to do, which was a poor attempt at gameplay videos. No, I wanted to do something different, something maybe better. While looking at my options, it became clear to me that maybe I should try doing podcasting. Now, I've never done this before. Frankly, I've never really been a big fan of putting myself out there, especially on the internet. But I figured, hey, would it really hurt? So, as you saw in the previous episode, or if you haven't, please go check it out, I sat down for a few hours, chatted with some friends, recorded the conversation with their permission, and uploaded basically the full thing unedited. Was it a great decision? No, but it was a decision, and it was the first step forward into hopefully making something. So what is the Fresh Baked Niche podcast? It's a platform for me and maybe some guests to come on and talk about something specific within some part of the entertainment industry. Now, whether that be movies, music, or games, depends on the episode. I would like to try to keep it in some kind of a rotation where maybe in this case episode 1 was about games and now episode 2 is about podcasts. Episode 3 could be about music or something. And the idea would be to never have the same theme twice between episodes. Structure-wise, I would like to kind of do what I did in the first episode, and I sort of did here. I'd like to start off with a little anecdote about baking, to kind of set the mood, as well as introduce the general concept, and then state the main bullet points for said episode. And after that, I'd like to have myself or any guest talk about something that they've engaged with recently and whatever that theme is. Unfortunately for this episode, I haven't really engaged in any podcasts in quite some time, so I don't really have one recently I can say, hey, I watched this, it was pretty solid. And after that, I'd like to talk about whatever the discussion is for the day. And I do warn you in the beginning that these are half-baked conversations. Usually these are spur-of-the-moment things. I don't always plan too well. But moving forward, I would like to kind of rein it in, get myself a little bit more organized, at least to a capacity where it's not just completely off the top of my head. I'd also like to try to figure out at least a better upload schedule, because currently it's a little all over the place, I'm sure as you've noticed. This week alone, I'll be putting out about 4 episodes. After that, I'd like to try to maybe do a Saturday release schedule where at about noon EST, a new episode should be available. So where do we go from here? I'm not really sure yet, to be honest with you. As I said, I'd like to try to upload a little bit more regularly. I would like to do the most bare minimum of scripting, but at least be organized. I guess we'll just see where we're at in about a year. Maybe I'll do a reflection on this episode and my rough goals and did I actually meet them or not. For just a small preview, I would like to note, I did say I'd be making about 4 episodes. I'd like to put out an episode about going to the movie theater as an experience and what that's like nowadays. I also plan on doing a 2-parter, where at first I will talk about my Switch 2 predictions, given that by the time this episode comes out, we'll be at about a week away from its Direct. I will then have the part 2 come out, where I will give my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct on April 2nd. A little preface, I am very excited for this next system, and I'm hoping that this will be a really solid Direct. And then I do want to try to get maybe 1 more episode out the Saturday after this video comes out, just to hopefully establish that rough schedule I'd like to keep. I know this was a shorter one. I don't always know how long an episode will be. I'm not even sure how long podcasts are supposed to be, but hopefully you enjoyed listening to me ramble for a little bit. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, or listening to my other episodes as they come out. And thank you for baking with me today. Goodbye.